Hi YouTubers, this is Britt coming at you on Wednesday, December 16th, 2015 at 1 a.m. which is normal for me because I'm a third shifter and I usually stay up late. So, plus I just had my doctor's visits yesterday, the Tuesday the 15th, and they're fresh in my mind and I want to kind of get them down so I don't forget any bits and pieces. Also, I am drinking my favorite beer in the winter. It's a very dark beer, so if you don't like dark beers, you probably won't like it. I don't know. I don't like dark beers either, really. There's none I can have that taste good, but this one is Kugel's Vanilla Porter. It is really good. It has like a vanilla twist to it, so it's not as strong as like and bitter as some of the other porters and dark beers out there that I can't stand. I really can't stand dark beers. My pick usually is like a light beer, like Miller Light, shit like that. But this, in the winter, it's pretty good. So you'll see me sipping on that. I gotta get my beer in before I have my surgery. You know, gotta soak it up. So, I'm not a crazy drunk. Like I say, I like every 4 days maybe have a beer. If I have a beer at home, if I have a 6-pack at home, I will maybe drink one every 4 days. But I only buy one, like a 6-pack every like couple of months. I just tend not to drink that much. I got worn out in my 20s. I'm done. Okay, so I wanted to give you guys an update because, like I said yesterday, the 15th, I had 2 appointments. I had a dietitian appointment and a physician appointment. And my dietitian visit went really well. I'm supposed to do 3. I've done 1 so far, so I'm supposed to technically do 2 more. However, the one today, because they're so understaffed, like it's not just understaffed. They also have a ton of people coming in needing their help. So they did a group meeting, I guess you'd call it, class, whatever you want to call it, with pretty much everybody getting bypass or lap band or sleeve like me. And in fact, actually, there was no sleever, there was no banders there. There was in fact though 2 banders that were revisioning to the bypass because the band apparently caused so much scar tissue that after they had the band taken off, they've had a lot of issues and they have to have a revision because of how much scar tissue they have. So that's a scary, icky thing, but they seem okay with it, you know. They didn't lose much weight on it, so now they have to go in and, you know. So I think they're pretty happy about it, but, you know, it sucks. Which is why this hospital in particular isn't doing the band anymore. They're only doing sleeve and bypass, and maybe later they'll do more, but they're not doing band anymore. So that's fine. I was looking for sleeve anyway, so it doesn't bother me. Anyway, so this dietitian visit, it was a group of people that it was 2 hours long, which was great. I got a ton of information, and the best part of it is that my dietitian visits are now done. This one big chunk 2-hour visit counted for 2 visits. So I got all my visits done today for the dietitian. Bam! Like that. Phenomenal. I was thrilled when she said that your dietitian visits are done. I was like, what? I mean, this is coming from like, I thought in the back of my head, maybe June is when I'm going to have my surgery. And now, maybe January. It's possible. January is completely possible at this point. I'm trucking along here. February, most likely. I don't want to he may want to rush into it. I sure shit don't. I have to give people notice. I can't just be like, take your surgery, bye. I need to tell people. Give them some time to, like, you know, react. But I could. And that's kind of crazy. 6 months before I thought it was going to happen for me. Which is fine with me. Oh, excuse me. It's been a really long day. I got back at 9 from Chicago and I left at 9 in the morning. So it's been a really long day. So yeah, like I said, I got my dietitian visit done. She went over the pre-op and post-op diet, which is phenomenal because that's where a lot of the questions were coming from, and I really wanted a lot of clarification. My 2-week pre-op diet is really fuzzy because my surgeon told me something that's not right. So I'm glad she clarified that, and I will go into that in a little bit. And then I had my physician visit, and I normally have to do 2 of those. And I do have to do 2 of those technically, but I guess I didn't really think about what exactly that meant when I went in today to do my physician visit. I went and did my physician visit. He did a basic check, everything, physical. It was a very basic physical. My weight, 302 pounds. No shock there. It was 303.8 when I went in to the surgeon. It stays 303.8 whenever I go there. I don't know what the fuck it is. When I come home, it's different, but when I go there, it's always 303.8. It's weird. But anyway, all these different scales. Anyway, so he does a very basic check, and he says, I think you're pretty good. I think, he's asking me questions about my history, about my health, etc., etc. And he says, I think you're fine to do the surgery. You're a perfect candidate. Your weight works out. And then I told him, he says, do you have any questions or concerns? And I said, the only concern I have, which you will find most people have the same problem, is gastric bypass or sleeve. And I'm mostly swaying to sleeve. Like, I'm pretty set on that. But sometimes a little bit of doubt creeps into my mind, and bypass creeps into my mind with that doubt. Because of my own doubts, my own fears, and also sometimes other people's doubts. And I've discussed that in a video too. People will say things that casts doubt on what I'm doing, and then makes me doubt what I'm doing. And then in comes gastric bypass. And because it's so extreme, it kind of creeps in there. So, but we discussed it, and he actually thinks I should get sleeve and not bypass. He said if I had diabetes, he would recommend bypass, because bypass does better for people with diabetes than sleeve does. But since I don't have diabetes, he says that you're going to get almost the same stuff with sleeve. There are some other things, obviously, but as far as weight loss is concerned, it's pretty close. And as far as the failure rate is concerned, it's pretty close. So if you're going to fail at sleeve, you could fail at bypass too. There's no, there isn't much of a difference between the two as far as a fail rate is concerned. So, and as far as a weight loss rate is concerned, it isn't much of a difference either, which I've already looked into and stuff. So but it's always something in the back of your head. You don't want to fail. You really don't want to fail. So you'd rather go to an extreme to succeed than go half-ass and fail, So it's just a thought. But he has basically convinced me to sway all the way over. I don't think I'm going to even think about bypass anymore. Plus, I want to have kids, and he did say if you want to have kids, it's better to go with a sleeve because of the nutrient deficiencies that can come with bypass. And I emphasize can come with bypass. Not everybody has those issues. Some people are very good at taking their pills and they're fine. Some people have issues. And if I want to have kids, I can't even risk having those issues. So, of course, there's risks with sleeve, but I want to be able to function on what I eat, not have to take a billion vitamins and worry if they're absorbing and constantly go to the doctor and check my vitamin levels to make sure they're absorbing, just so my baby doesn't come out with problems or I come out with problems or whatever. So, but anyway, that visit went great. And he explained to me after they took 3 vials of blood and do tests, that if my tests come out fine and stuff, that he's going to send in the approval to do it. He's going to tell my surgeon that he's happy with it. He's good with me being a good candidate. And that's the last visit I have with the physician until the pre-op. So when I saw 2 visits with the physician, I wasn't thinking a 1 visit. And then when I have my surgery date, visit him to check everything. I, for some reason in my mind, was thinking that's a separate extra visit. I wasn't thinking that's the second visit. So I'm done with my physician visits. For the insurance anyways, I'm done. I'm okay, so I'm done with everything I need to do to get approved for the surgery. I went and consulted with the surgeon, done. I went to my 1 physician visit that I have to go to, done. I went to technically all 3 of my dietitian visits. That's the basic requirements for my surgery. Done, and done. I was in shock, I was smiling, I didn't realize it. I just didn't click that, oh my God, yeah, today, that's it. I was thinking many more visits. No. Yeah, so here we are. I sent an email to my surgeon and asked him to fill out some family medical leave paperwork. and then to let me know what the insurance company says, because that's what the next step is, to submit this all to the insurance company. Done. And my, oh yeah, and I didn't mention my psychology appointment. That's done too. So all of it's done. It's kind of crazy. So they said like 2 weeks. I'll find out. 2 weeks. So because 2 weeks is kind of close. I'm January. I'll find out. And then I set the date. So maybe like early February, because I want to give it like a month. It's crazy. Because, I mean, I was thinking February, but even though I wasn't really thinking February, like, after all this stuff started getting pushed forward, I was like, well, maybe February. But I was thinking February, March, April, May. Like, just wasn't thinking it'd be this quick. So it's kind of shocking and bewildering, and I love it. I'm actually really thrilled that it's going to be this quickly, but, I mean, I really don't want to keep waiting for this. I want this done, and it's kind of annoying that driving to Chicago ain't fun. And I don't mind it because I know what I'm going to get, and I know I'm going to have to drive afterward. But it's just not like the funnest thing in the world. So I do want to take a little bit of time to go over my pre-op diet. I actually should do that in a separate video. I will do that in a separate video because we're already at 11.5 minutes and I have a feeling that's going to be a bit lengthy. So I'm just going to do that in a separate video. I will do that in like a week because I have all the papers in front of me. And it's a lot of papers. It's a lot of papers. I mean, there are more papers than I'm even showing you, like a ton of papers. I don't know, like 50. And then, so I'm not going to go through all that tonight. But I did want to give you guys an update that, yay, I am in the process of having it all submitted and waiting to get approved. Now it's just a waiting game, which is kind of crazy. And I think it's going to drive me nuts a little. I don't know. I'm not very patient. I mean, I'm patient compared to some, I guess, but I'm not very patient. So, yes, I wanted to just give you that update. So, I guess I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll do a video in like a week or so on this pre-op stuff, pre-op diet, post-op diet, whatever it is. Give more info as far as that's concerned, but some of you guys already know what this stuff is. I mean, especially if you've already done this, you already know what all this stuff is. My pre-op diet, though, is a little unique because I don't have to do liquids. It's just protein. My pre-op diet is no carbs, very minimal carbs, but they said minimal carbs, but basically no carbs. Protein and vegetables, and that's it. You don't eat anything else. You don't have any fruits or any breads or anything like that. So it's going to be pretty easy compared to a liquid diet. So I'm pretty thrilled about that. Okay, well, I will talk to you guys soon. Take care of yourselves. Have a good night. Ta-ta.